Heloise was driving. A missile strikes suddenly. The car was hanging by the bridge, and a person approached Heloise slowly. After the Avengers Civil War, Heloise was wanted by the government. In desperation, Heloise hid in a safe house deep in the mountains. As the generator ran out of gas, Heloise was attacked while going down the mountain to get oil. His is the imitation master of the Red House. He can imitate anyone's attack, but this time, his target is not Heloise, but this box. Naturally, Heloise couldn't let him succeed. After some fighting, Heloise was defeated. Heloise uses the flying claws to hold the imitation master. The imitation master is coming out of trouble. Heloise was kicked off the bridge in 3 rounds, but the box was empty at this time. Heloise swims to the shore, and the thing in the box is red potion, and there are photos of Heloise when she was a child. The other girl is her sister Yelena. It turned out that they had disguised themselves as a family of 4 and carried out secret missions in Russia. Their father, Gustavi, had been injected with super blood like Captain America, and they were known as the Red Guardians. And Mother Catherine is trained in the Red House and is a top agent. Heloise and Yelena are just ordinary little girls. Gustavi is hunted down by Shield after his mission is complete. After escaping, he not only gave the results of the mission to his friend Derry, but Derry is the owner of the Red House. The 2 children also officially entered the Red House for training. The Red House is to train female agents, and once they graduate, they will undergo sterilization operations, collectively known as the Widow's Corps, and Heloise has already judged the Red House owner. Years later, Yelena was sprinkled with a bottle of red potion by the other party during a mission. Her consciousness was restored. She got rid of the control of the Red House and put the potion in the safe house. Heloise didn't know about it until she was hunted down by the imitation master. The sisters came to one of Heloise's residences and started fighting as soon as they met. Yelena told her that all the female agents are now controlled by the Red House in some way. Their brain nerves and consciousness are completely controlled. And the red bottle is the antidote. At this moment, the Red House came after him again. Heloise and Yelena were hunted down by the Red House. They tried to escape through the exhaust pipe, but were still chased by an agent. At the same time, Heloise, a friend who had been trained together, tried to save her, but her consciousness was manipulated and she fell down. Yelena was thrown into the opposite window. Heloise also fell from a height. Heloise did not give up saving her former companion, but at this point Derry presses the button and the agent kills himself. Yelena came a step late with the medicine. In order to save the sisters in the Red House, the 2 must act. Just as the 2 got on their motorcycles, a giant armored car drove up. On the way to escape, the tire was blew up by the agent. After finishing the agent with the car door, she continued to escape. The armored vehicle chased after him again. The imitation master drew up his bow and arrow, and a cloud-piercing arrow passed by. The 2 fell into the subway, and the imitation master used the US team's ace move. In the end, the sisters escaped with bloodstains. This was where she and Eagle Eye hid for 2 days. After escaping, Yelena began to imitate the posture of Heloise. After some discussion, the 2 decided to look for their former father, the Guardian in Red. He is the only person who is likely to know the address of the Red House headquarters. At this time, Catherine was already a big fat man, waving wrists in prison. When Catherine was collecting the mail, he found a doll. Catherine pulled the doll's head, and the doll's head popped out, with an invisible earphone inside. Catherine put on the earphones and heard Heloise's voice. Catherine knew it was time to go out. Catherine knocked down 2 guards and ran towards the south gate, but the prison's defense is too strict. Catherine can't escape. Heloise had to fight in person. It was this action. The firepower of the guard tower was too strong, and Yelena destroyed the tower with a rocket, which caused an avalanche. Heavy snow flooded the entire prison. At the last moment, they managed to free Gustavi, but Gustavi told them that he was framed by his friend Derry and went to prison. But besides him, there is another person who may know the location of the headquarters, and that is their former mother Catherine. Gustavi found out the battle uniform from that year, but his fat figure could barely fit it. The family is reunited again, but at night, special forces surrounded them heavily. Gustavi was injected with super serum. Suddenly, Gustavi is hit with an anesthesia needle.
They think.
Yelena finds Heloise, who is unconscious. It was Catherine who tipped off the news. They were taken to the headquarters of the Red House, which was hidden in the clouds in the sky. Catherine met Derry, the owner of the Red House, and they chatted and laughed, but in the next second, Catherine was pressed on the chair. It turned out that she was Heloise in disguise, and Heloise and Catherine had already colluded and made a series of plans. Facing Heloise, Derry didn't seem worried. Derry let the imitation master reveal his true colors. It turned out to be Derry's daughter Anton Mia. Heloise couldn't believe it. When she assassinated Derry many years ago, she accidentally blew up Anton Mia, who was a little girl, to death. Heloise has always been bitter. After all, the girl is innocent. Derry sent Anton Mia Mia to hunt down Catherine. Heloise pulled out the gun, but couldn't pull the trigger no matter what. He took out another knife, but he couldn't stab it. It turns out that Derry has a kind of pheromone. As long as you get close to him, smelling this pheromone, the brain will stop all acts of violence against him. On the other side, the imitation master found Catherine. Gustavi stayed behind to fend off. Gustavi was beaten by Anton Mia. Derry thought everything was under control, so he told Heloise the secret of the Red House. They use algorithms to calculate potential girls all over the world, train and manipulate them to create an unrivaled army of widows. High-end hunters often appear as prey. Heloise has already learned about pheromones from Catherine. As long as the olfactory nerve is completely cut off, it will not be disturbed by pheromone. Catherine destroyed the engine of the Red House. Yelena wants to try out Helis's approach. Then Gustavi was rescued, and they locked Anton Mia away. When Heloise was about to succeed, the female soldiers arrived. Derry escapes. Heloise was beaten by 2 fists and 4 hands, and was finally strangled by the neck. Suddenly, the antidote flew from the sky. Yelena rushed over. The female soldiers regained their sanity, and everyone began to evacuate. Heloise stayed behind to copy the confidential documents of the Red House. Heloise released Anton Mia because of guilt. The Red House began to collapse in an all-round way. Yelena destroys the engine of Derry's plane. Derry died in the explosion, and he was thrown high into the air by the explosion. Heloise grabbed the parachute and jumped off. Heloise actually caught up with Yelena. Anton Mia followed, and Heloise let go of Yelena. After the two landed safely, Heloise took the opportunity to open Anton Mia's helmet. Heloise exploded the antidote with 1 punch. Anton Mia finally regained her sanity and broke free from control. The family reunites again. 2 weeks later, Heloise changed her hair to blonde, and her partner prepared a private jet for Heloise.
Funny, my whole life I didn't think I had any family. Turned out I got 2. So, I'm in a bit of a mess right now. Go break through with that prison. See if I can't help patch things up.
Yelena came to mourn at Helis's grave, which also meant a complete declaration of the end of the Black Widow. Yelena's boss gives her the next mission objective.
Maybe you'd like a shot at the man responsible for your sister's death.